Hello, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. Bang from another headlines as usual.
Tham's Record National Day. Baghdad boosting saltwater fishing farms combined with tourism.
On September 2nd, 1945, President Ho Chi Minh read the Declaration of Independence, declaring the birth of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, now the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. In the 77 years since, Vietnam Post has issued a number of stamps in honor of that sacred, historic moment, which are considered historical witnesses of the country's formation and development.
Hỡi đồng bào cả nước, tất cả mọi người đều sinh ra có quyền bình đẳng, tạo hóa cho họ những quyền không ai có thể xâm phạm được. Trong những quyền ấy có quyền được sống, quyền tự do và quyền mưu cầu hạnh phúc.
One year after President Ho Chi Minh read the Declaration of Independence, Vietnam Post issued the first stamp collection marking 1 year anniversary of victory in the August Revolution and the establishment of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. The stamps were designed by artist Nguyễn Sáng and depicted President Ho Chi Minh in different colors.
The first set of stamps affirmed the independence of the nations and depicted President Ho Chi Minh reading the Declarations of Independence.
Vietnam Post has now issued 12 sets of stamps to mark National Day. Over the time, these stamps have become invaluable possessions and they mark the country's historic moments.
I have collected all of these stamps over the years, because they record the glorious history of the nation and the significant contributions of President Ho Chi Minh to the cause of national defense and liberations.
The issuance of postal stamps on September 2nd has significant historical meaning since they record the country's major historical events and remind people to boost patriotism and strive to build a stronger nation.
Vietnam is celebrating the 77th anniversary of National Day. Colorful flags and flowers can be seen in both urban and rural areas. People nationwide can help but be happy and excited because such an atmosphere was impossible during the 2 years of COVID-19. In returning to normality, the entire political system led by the government and together with the people and the business community made remarkable contributions. Let's look at some of the government's efforts in recent times on the road to socio-economic recovery. After determining that vaccinations would be a key and decisive factor in curbing the pandemic, heads of the party, state, government, and National Assembly all engaged in a vaccine diplomacy campaign. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính called for every effort to be made to have as many vaccines as possible to save lives. Such efforts helped Vietnam return to normality sooner. In order to recover and develop the economy post-pandemic, the government promptly developed a number of programs, plans, and measures.
Businesses and individuals expect that the economic recovery program being carried out by the government will create stronger growth momentum for 2022 to 2023.
With contributions from the government, the people and business, Vietnam achieved impressive results. Its economic growth reached 5.03% in the first quarter of this year and 7.72% in the second quarter, the highest second quarter growth in more than a decade. Growth in the first half was 6.42%. In the first 8 months of the year, Vietnam posted a trade surplus of $3.96 billion, with exports earning the country nearly $251 billion.
Vietnam can achieve its growth target in 2022 because of its effective control of COVID-19. The economy recorded relatively high growth in the first half of the year.
Thanks to actual achievements, international financial institutions made positive forecasts or adjusted their forecasts on Vietnam's growth. Most expect the economy to grow 6.5% or more both this year and in 2023. The World Bank forecasts growth of 7.5% this year. Foreign investor confidence in Vietnam was strengthened, with foreign direct investment inflows in the first 8 months rising 10.5% to $12.8 billion. Foreign investors from Japan, Germany, the Republic of Korea, and elsewhere continue to affirm their belief and expectations in the growth potential that Vietnam's economy holds.
The figures show that both domestic and foreign investors greatly appreciate Vietnam's investment environment. They remain hopeful about the country's economic growth.
Such efforts helped Vietnam return to normality sooner. The government decided to reopen the country's borders on March 15th, officially welcoming international visitors back to Vietnam. This decision contributed to reviving the tourism industry, a spearhead economic sector in the country. Vietnam welcomed more than 1.44 million foreign arrivals in the first 8 months of this year, a 13.7-fold rise from a year earlier. As the region and the world were emerging from COVID-19, Vietnam put out all stops and optimized all possible resources to overcome a range of difficulties and challenges to hold a successful SEA Games 31 in May, leaving an indelible impression on the hearts of international athletes and fans. These positive results show Vietnam's economy is recovering strongly and that major efforts have been made by the entire political system.
The capital city of Hanoi ranked third among cities and provinces nationwide in foreign direct investment in the first 7 months of this year, with nearly $980 million, affirming its attractiveness to foreign investors.
Hanoi has seen increases in many economic indicators in the January to July period, including budget collections of $91.1 billion, fulfilling 68.4% of its yearly target, and equivalent to 116% of the figure recorded in the same period last year. At the same time, the city's export revenue reached $9.84 billion, up 17.2% year-on-year, including $5.43 billion from the domestic sector and $4.4 billion from the FDI sector. Meanwhile, the city's index of industrial production (IIP) rose 7.2%, with the processing manufacturing sector increasing 7.5%. Total retail sales of goods and services in the city reached nearly 379 trillion Vietnamese đồng, up 22% year-on-year.
The Ministry of Planning and Investment is drafting a government resolution on measures to increase the efficiency of industrial parks and economic zones across the country.
According to the ministry, industrial parks and economic zones account for 50% of the country's total export value. Over the past 30 years, industrial parks and economic zones have attracted over $100 billion of investment and created jobs for more than 4 million laborers. However, there is a number of problems related to the industrial parks and economic zones, including their unsustainable development in different aspects. Besides, living conditions of local communities where the zones are located have not seen remarkable improvements. In the draft resolution, the ministry suggested the building of a law on industrial parks and economic zones in 2022, and the issuance of a Prime Minister's decisions on the coordination mechanism among ministries, sectors, localities in managing industrial parks and economic zones. The draft also looks to stipulate the maximum acreage of an industrial park and an economic zone, as well as define orientations in investment attraction to match the advantages of each region and locality, and the creation of a cooperation mechanism between the state and the private sector in developing new industrial parks and economic zones for particular sectors and industries.
Deputy Prime Minister Lê Văn Thành has just signed a decision approving the National Climate Change Strategy to 2050.
The strategy sets the overall goals of proactive and effective adapting to, minimizing vulnerability to, and damage caused by climate change. It also aims at reducing emissions towards net zero emissions by 2050 and capitalizing on opportunities from climate change response to transform the growth model and improve the economy's resilience and competitiveness. Specific targets include maintaining the forest coverage at 43%, supplying clean and hygienic water for 100% of the population, and providing safe houses to 100% of households in areas frequently affected by natural disasters by 2050. Towards the targets, tasks and solutions have been set out, revolving around enhancing the resilience and adaptive capacity of the natural, economic, and social systems, as well as ensuring sustainable livelihoods.
Bestowed with a year-round cool climate, many households in Bắc Cạn province have invested in cold water fish farming associated with tourism in recent times and initially posted good results.
That is the salmon and sturgeon farm owned by Mr. Đặng Hành Dũng in Yên Dương County, Ba Bể district. Since combining raising fish with tourism, the number of visitors to his farm has increased, resulting in higher fish consumption. Mr. Dũng farm is quite large, earning him hundreds of millions of Vietnam dong a year.
Sturgeon and salmon bring high profits and are suitable for the local climate, so I chose cold water fish farming as a business startup.
There are 4 farms in Bắc Cạn province raising salmon and sturgeon. Thanks to the climate, local salmon and sturgeon products are of good quality and have found favor among consumers.
We began raising fish in November and can harvest now. Large fish can be sold to restaurants in other localities.
Some salmon and sturgeon farms are located high in the mountains where the climate is cooler and the landscapes are beautiful, so fish farm owners have combined fish rearing with tourism. Visitors can sightsee at the farms and nearby, enjoy some fish dishes, and learn about the culture of the local people.
This model helps create more tourism products, such as community tourism, experiential tourism, and agri-tourism. It also helps farmers expand their markets.
The result shows that cold water fish farming combined with tourism is a new and highly effective business. It promises to be a means of helping sustainable reduction in mountainous and ethnic minority areas.
Australian magazine Traveller has listed Vietnam among the 8 best places to go in Asia for a holiday.
According to the travel booking platform, Ninh Bình, the former location of the Hollywood blockbuster Kong Skull Island in 2016, has been dubbed Hạ Long Bay on land. Cù Lao Chàm Island, which is a cluster of 8 islands recognized by UNESCO as a World Biosphere Reserve, is the second name by the Danish travel platform. In Vietnam's far north, it's said, Sapa is popular among people who love mountain climbing and pristine landscapes. Hạ Long Bay regularly appears on lists of outstanding destinations in Vietnam. Straddling the north of the Trường Sơn mountain range, Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng is one of the most beautiful national parks in Vietnam. It is home to Sơn Dong, the world's largest cave, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Unknown to many foreign visitors, Ba Bể National Park boasts spectacular landscapes. Cat Ba National Park, recognized as a World Biosphere Reserve, is also an ideal destination for nature lovers, is suggested. Last but not least, with a coastline stretching some 12 kilometers, Mũi Né offers a wonderful space to relax, the travel booking platform from Denmark noted.
And that's wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for watching. And see you next time.